Reporting live from the underworld, coming from a place that's never been unearthed. How much is your soul? Tell me what it's worth. Do you put your pride on money first?
Reporting live from the underworld. It's Wesley, man. Hey, look, this is weird for me, first and foremost. Starting off live. It's my first video. It honestly feels good that we're finally doing this. But look, man, again, I just want to introduce myself, get to know you, get to know me, those who are in here. Look, man, I'm Wesley. You're watching Beast on Broad Street. All right. Got a lot to unpack today, truth be told. I mean, some guys getting hurt here and there, but I mean, that's just part of training camp. We got Landon Dickerson back. Who didn't practice today? Oren Burke. It was Oren Burks and Brett Toth. That's who it was. I mean, starting from yesterday, day one of camp, I already like what I'm seeing, truth be told, because last year I just felt like the camp was a little too lax. I mean, I'm sure you guys feel the same way, but I felt like the camp was just a little too lax. And I mean, this year, we got Mekhi Becton throwing up in practice, which leads me to, like today we had Trotter Jr., the Axeman Jr. He went down. They said it was a calf thing. I think my guess is he probably just pulled his calf muscle. And if anyone's ever done that before, you know that is no joke, man. That is no joke. Like, pulling your calf hurts. All right. I can't put too much into that, really. I mean, I'm sure he'll be fine. That's my guess is what happened. It said he got up under his own power, was able to get on the cart. And I mean, no one likes seeing a player get carted off the field, whether it's practice or a game. But I mean, if you pull your calf muscle and you get up, like, it's still tender. You still can't really like move well. So my guess is more of like a precautionary thing. They put Trotter Jr. up on the cart. He'll be all right. He's gonna be all right. I mean, hey, like, this is camp, man. This is what happens. We get into it, and it's really I don't know. I can't put too much stock into like the first 2 days of camp, but I will say this: if I've just, it's based off of the reports out here, especially from day one, okay, I'm hearing that we're adding, Hurts is, the RPO games looks a little different. I'm hearing, I'm guessing we might be, I think we're adding that speed option, man. That speed option is going to be lethal. And again, I really hope that's the case, but man, if we add a speed option into this offense, man, please, I would love that. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley. Not only would that open up the game just for the RPO in general, but quick passes off the RPO. Are you serious, man? Like, if we're running a read option, speed, or just any speed options, triple options, like, just look, man, that's what I want to get back to. Already hearing reports that we're adding more motion into the offense, which I like personally. I don't see why we wouldn't. Last year, man, it was a mess. It was awful. I don't know. It's tricky because, like, we come into camp, the off season was long. We all got a bad taste in our mouth as far as the coaches, the play calling, Nick Sirianni, especially. Me personally, I wanna give Nick Sirianni this chance, right? Obviously, he's gonna get the chance regardless, but like it's just really hard going into the season to trust him right now. But these first 2 days of camp, or these first 2 days of practice, it's got me feeling a little better about it. You know, um, I can't. I don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I can't. I wouldn't imagine that we wouldn't like use more motion in the offense anyways. And I also would like to believe that, Kellen Moore has his handprints on this playbook entirely. Entirely. Um, but I mean, like it's already looking like it's not Nick Sirianni's, like it's just not like just his what 5 plays, whatever bubble screen draw, QB draw. Like I tired of seeing that, man. And we all are, I'm sure. But I got a good feeling about this year. I do. Um, real quick, I think we should go over this depth chart. That's what I wanted to do at least. I want to go over the depth chart. I want to go over each position individually. Um, and I like to, I want to talk about what we got. Any position battles that we got going on. Let's see what we got here. All right. Um, if it lets me at least. I want to get this I think I'll just do roster. And we'll go by position. Excuse me, that was a nasty one. Let's see here. Let's get the simple stuff out of the way. Let's start with quarterback. QB1. We already know where that's going. It's not even discussion. But let's talk about Hurts real quick. All right. Last season, it was like, at least last season during training camp, it's like any bad pass, any interception that Hurts threw was like, that, it was reported. Everyone's panicking, panic button. Like, oh, he's not ready for the season. He looks bad. He's regressing, and I can't stand that. First of all, but this year, so far, the first 2 days, Hurts is seeming like he's perfect right now throwing the ball at Kent. I mean, today I think this was it was ESP reporting that he would have been 100% on all of his passes had it not been for drop passes. Obviously, not his fault. Um, I like to hear that personally. It's not like just reporting negative. Yeah, we got to hold them accountable, but it's like, look, I bet all those people last year that were talking about Hurts regressing during camp and everything. Like you're not hearing none of that right now, which is why I liked it. I like that. I think it was Anais Smith, and Anais Smith is, and we'll get there, but he's someone I'm really watching. But I can't be mad right now. Obviously, if we're still sticking on quarterbacks, right? So we know Hurts is going to be QB1. It's obvious Kenny Pickett is going to be QB2. Kenny Smallhands, Um, and then what? We got Tanner McKee. Let me see. Tanner McKee. I thought we had. Oh yeah, that's right. Will Greer. That's right. Tanner McKee and Will Greer. I don't. It is what it is. I'm obviously, if we're hoping that we don't even have to touch a quarterback 3 situation. But you never know. You never know. It's times are shown anything could happen. I would say. I don't know. I would say. Why does that keep happening? Oh, what's going on, my camera? Oh, hold on. Oh boy, sorry about that. It's gonna happen. I don't know. It's my, like I said, first live stream. Gonna have technical difficulties, so it is what it is. Camera might freeze up on me. What are you gonna do? It does seem kind of out of focus though, so I'm gonna zoom in here. Yeah, as I was saying, look, not really worried about the QB3 scenario. Okay. Um, let's see. Let's go running back. All right. This is something that's been interesting. All right. Of course, we got the boy, man, Saquon. Ah, who can't wait to see him play, man? I have been itching, itching to see what this offense is gonna look like with Saquon in the mix. Like I said earlier, man, if we implement a speed option with Saquon Barkley, man, forget about it. I don't know. Like I just can't wait to see that. Just generally, I can't wait to. Let's hope that he gets his touches. I don't see why he wouldn't get his touches, but last year I'm still a little traumatized from last year. I'll be honest. The whole not running the ball thing. But obviously, starting running back is going to be Saquon. How will Saquon stay healthy is the question. Um, I mean, look, it's football. We're gonna have injuries, and yeah, he's had his fair share of injuries. It's been up and down as far as his health goes. But I don't. I'm confident. I'm fully confident he's gonna have a good, healthy year. Um, and I think, yeah, I don't know. It'll be lethal in the pass game. The run game is gonna be just. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait for that. Just can't wait to see that. I don't know what else. So RB2 is the next. I guess this is a big question for me. Um, Today Gainwell was getting a lot of reps with the first team. Whether it's just to give Saquon some rest, or maybe maybe their plan may be to split carries with Gainwell. I know we got that kid Will Shipley out of Clemson. I haven't really heard much from him. I don't really know what's going on with Will Shipley, truth be told. Um, I've been hearing a lot about Gainwell. I don't know if any of you saw. I don't know if any of you saw that picture. I just saw it floating around on Twitter, X, whatever. And it's just Kenneth Gainwell just sitting by himself. I think it was before the practice even started. He was probably the first one out there. I think it was before. It might have been after. I can't remember. But either way, it's just interesting to see Gainwell. Um, he wants that RB2 spot. It's gonna be a big deal for him. Why wouldn't it be? But I don't see why it can't be Gainwell. I mean, I get it. It was frustrating to see him kind of get forced into the offense at time, but we've all seen what Kenneth Gainwell can do. Especially that he's come through in the playoffs. He can run the ball, man. I personally don't mind. I don't mind him being the RB2. I don't hate that. I really don't. I think I think Gainwell can be very effective in the run game. Whether or not he is the RB2, I don't know. It's still up for grabs in my opinion, but I don't see why it wouldn't be. I don't see why it wouldn't be him. Maybe Will Shipley. I know everyone kind of roots for the guy the rookies out of the draft, the young guys, but it's something tells me that Gainwell is just he's hungry to get those reps. You know, he's hungry to get those touches, and I think it ends up being Saquon, and I think it ends up being Saquon and Gainwell. Um, and we'll see what happens as camp progresses, but you know, and we got some other guys. You know, Kendall Milton is one guy that I've heard name thrown around. Lou Nichols the third, probably just a camp body. I don't, big back for the most part. 5'10", 220. He's got some size to him, but I don't see him being anything other than a camp body. Maybe practice squad guy, like most. Kendall Milton though could be interesting for sure. Whether or not he kind of moves up the chart, that's on him. And I mean, and honestly, it's just whether or not the coaches actually, our coaching staff, like feels like it's necessary. I just feel like we don't really utilize like power backs, like that 1-2 punch. Like, when's the last time? I don't know. When's the last time like we really seen like that power back come into the. Like, I used to love, and like I wish we would, because man, I used to love like when Jordan Howard got the ball, man. You just knew he was going downhill. I used to love that. Ryan Matthews, man. Like, you used to see some of those guys going downhill. It was just nice from time to time to like kind of throw like that, like just a power back into the mix. Guy just runs north south, maybe makes a cut, and then just lowers the shoulder, gets that extra yards, always falling forward. Love those types of backs. We just don't really utilize them. And like I said, you got Saquon now, and he's gonna dominate the touches as far as running backs go. You would like to believe, at least. And maybe you split it with one other guy. I don't think it's really gonna be a full committee like kind of how we've seen. Maybe like that 3 running back rotation that we've kind of been seeing the last couple seasons. I think it's just going to be 2 back dominant. Obviously, Saquon. I'm guessing Kenny G. All right, let's move on to receiver. All right, here's a deal with receiver. It's obvious. We're not even talking about who our 1 and 2s are. We already know that boy AJ. That boy Devontae, man, it's a wrap, man. I can't even believe that we're here to begin with, that we're talking about AJ and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Like, we were so desperate for a receiver for so long. It's just so nice to not even have to really worry about that. If anything, the wide receiver 3 battle is what we want to talk about right now. And I gotta say, I really wanted Anaya Smith to be that guy to, like, it's a battle that he could win. It's just like, it's a very winnable battle. You're battling with Paris Campbell, John Ross, and other than that, man, like those are the 2 guys you're really trying to beat, and both of them are really like kind of like they're on like a redemption. We got so many redemption stories, and they're 2 of them, right? Like, John Ross is just, I don't like what does he do after this if he's not wide receiver 3? Like, if he gets cut from this roster, it's probably it for him, truth be told. And Paris Campbell, look, day 1, all I was hearing was Paris Campbell. Like, Hurts was heavily giving him the ball that first day. And today they had John Ross going. He was getting a lot of first team reps, and I can't wait to see. I don't know. I can't wait to see what John Ross can, like, if he can contribute, and like if he can kind of, like, I don't know, bring back his career, revive his career. I personally think that right now it's Paris Campbell's spot to win or lose, if Anaya Smith is just like, I like watching his college highlight, like those highlights from like it. He can make guys miss like no one. Like it's just fun to watch him run with the ball in open space, and that's something this offense could really use. Um, that would just, if he could capitalize on that in the NFL, would be perfect for us. So I really would like to see him win. Holy smokes! All right. Camera's gonna be the death of me, man. Um. Right. So yeah, I'd like to see Anaya Smith, come and just take over. But I can't I can't just fully expect that at this moment because I do like Paris Campbell. I do think he's like he's a like it's wide receiver 3, and like it's not like it's like we're just kind of thin at the wide receiver position, like, and the wide receiver 3 position needs to like they need to eclipse like 800 plus yards. It's just not the case. Like we're hoping just to get like just okay production from that position, and I think Paris Campbell could do that. Um, so right now, I think he's kind of like I would list him as like the front right, and he's who I think will end up taking that spot. I'd like to see Anaya Smith kind of like be that rookie to claim that lock in that starting position at wide receiver 3, but it's not guaranteed. And like I said, truth be told, like it's not the most of our worries. Like like I said, we got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard, Saquon Barkley. We got all these weapons. Do we really need this amazing production from wide receiver 3? No, not really. We just need a guy to not, drop the ball. Quez Watkins. Um, so yeah, that's just kind of how I feel about it all. I just I I'm a hopeful. All right, like I like believing in, like, every year, we go through a draft, and I see a guy like Anaya Smith and just the talent that they can have, speed, quickness in the open field. Like, you want to see a guy like that kind of thrive and take over a spot, especially against, you know, um, not saying that like Paris Campbell's a scrub or anything like that, but like, if you're a rookie, like that's a winnable battle. It's a winnable battle at camp. So we'll see how that goes. Um, let's go to I don't know. Let's move on. What we got? Tight end. Where did I put that? We got tight end. Um, you know, this is. I don't love what we got going on at tight end right now. Well, we got, of course, Dallas Goddard. The thing with Goddard is just whether or not he'll stay healthy. I don't. I can't like. I just don't foresee Goddard like just playing just playing every game this season. Like I can't expect him to do that. And on top of that, just like what Calcaterra, he's also injury prone. So it's like I would just like to have a little bit more stability there. We got CJ Uzama, interesting. Yeah, he's 31 years old. It's kind of he's a big big body too, 262. Like that'll be interesting. I mean, like I'd like to see him take the tight end 2 spot. I don't know who else would. If it was Calcaterra, like he has upside, but just like not if you can't stay healthy, and that's kind of our problem at tight end right now. Just the health scenario. Like we need a solid option, especially if Goddard can't play. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do. Like Goddard goes down, it's like we got to rely on Calcaterra or Uzama. Like, not that comfortable. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't know. I'd like to see I don't know what Aquabenon. It's another guy, Alberto. Like again, it's like we just didn't really see much of him. We didn't really get an opportunity, which tells me a lot too, as far as like what the coaching staff is thinking of him. Like, why isn't he getting an opportunity? What they clearly don't see him as kind of like that guy. So that is a position, like, I don't know, like you got to kind of keep an eye on in training camp, and you really, I'm not gonna say it, but like, you just want health to. We want to hope that position group can stay healthy. I'll just say that. Like, that's something that I got to keep my eye on. I mean, it's just not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed that Goddard, Calcaterra are going to be there all season. So I mean, keep an eye. I'm hoping CJ Uzama can kind of like, I don't know, can kind of take that spot and be a solid option if God forbid something was to happen. But again, we'll keep an eye on it. That was another thing. So going back to receiver, this Johnny Wilson kid, like he had there's a lot of excitement around him. I don't know if he could. I don't know if he's in like a candidate to take that wide receiver 3 spot, but I really like him. Big body, 6'6", 228. It'd be nice to have it'd be nice to have like an option. I don't think he'll be a slot guy though. That's the thing. Like, he's probably gonna end up playing on the outside. Realistically, I mean, especially those big body guys, unless they're like kind of fast. We used to have. I mean, not saying that you can't be big body and be in the slot. Like Jason Avant. Jason Avant was a big dude, great hands in the slot. Jordan Matthews, I know, but like he was bigger guy for the most part. Not, but like he could, he was a decent option in the slot. I mean, we didn't really have any other weapons, but he was good. He would have made a good wide receiver 3. So I don't think Johnny Wilson is going to just jump to that level of wide receiver in his first year, but just a name to keep. I like that kid. Like, I think just like the physicals, big guy, good wingspan. Like, it'll be interesting to see where he comes out at the end of this. And that kind of brings me to, as far as offense go, since we're staying on offense, or kind of moving along that way. This O-line, man, I'll say this. If you had told me that when Kelsey's gone, this was going to be the depth at O-line, I'll take that every day of the week. I'll take it every day of the week. Tackles, Lane Johnson, Mailata, We know Jurgens. We know Jurgens is going to be the guy. Also heard great things from him today. As far as just being that just pulling, being a lead blocker. He's going he'll be a problem. And if you're expecting him to be Jason Kelsey or to fill, just don't. You're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting him up for failure. It's just that's an unrealistic expectation to put on anyone when they're filling in for Jason Kelsey. You're just not gonna get that again. Now, with that being said, he can definitely give similar skill set. He can definitely give you that, and I'm excited to see this guy, man. When he gets out in open space, he's that lead blocker, man. He can be a problem. We saw it already, but it's just gonna be nice seeing him. He's got big shoes to fill. Kelsey's still gonna be around. He's still gonna be kind of like a mentor for him. So not really worried about Cam Jurgens. If you feel like he might be a question mark, I would not worry about Cam Jurgens. O-line, like I said, we got Mailata, Lane Johnson, and Cam Jurgens. This cameraman is gonna be the death of me. Yeah, I think we're in good shape though. I honestly do, as far as O-line goes. Now, guard is interesting. I think, Landon Dickerson obviously is going to be one of those guys, but will it be Tyler Steen or will it be Mekhi Becton? And look, all I've been hearing about is Becton. All I've been hearing about is Becton. And right now, he's a clear lead. It's for me, at least, and it seems to be the case as far as coaching staff too. All I hear is high praise from this guy. So right now, I think you're looking at Becton kind of being that guard. And what's great about Becton too is he can move around. He can move around the line. A tackle goes down, you can move him. And maybe use Steen there. Maybe plug Steen in that guard. Someone goes down, God forbid again. God forbid Lane or Mailata goes down at some point through the season. Move Becton over to tackle, and you got and you just plug Steen in. And honestly, I do. I like that fit. I like the depth of our O-line right now. I mean, we got and just to name a few, again, Brett Toth, 27 years old. He did not practice today. He's also, he could play tackle or guard. It's nice to have these guys who can be flexible at the line. Personally, I think, I don't have a doubt in my mind right now that starting O-line is going to end up being Johnson, Mailata, Jurgens at center, and you're going to have Dickerson and Becton as the guard. That to me is my prediction. I don't see it really going any other way right now, unless Steen just kind of just takes a massive leap. But again, it's not like that's a bad thing it's not bad to have. It's good to have competition. And like I said, someone goes down, you're going to want a Tyler Steen to come in. You're going to want a Becton to be able to move around the line. So offensive line, man, I just feel like, we give them love all the time. That's one thing we've never really had a problem with, but, I don't really see that. It's just amazing how deep we are there. And I don't think that's being given enough praise right now. It's we lost a Hall of Fame, one of the greatest centers of all time, if not the greatest. We lose him, and we're in this position. I'll take that every day. Every day I'll take that. I'm not worried about a thing at O line right now. I mean, again, I'm not saying that Jurgens is going to come in and beat Kelsey. And if you're thinking that, it's kind of foolish. I'll be honest. You're just setting, like, again, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting Jurgens up for failure. He's not Kelsey. You're not going to get a Kelsey. But what's beautiful, like I said, Kelsey's still around. He's still going to be that mentor, and you still got him in the building. So let's be grateful. I'm grateful. I hope you are too. And yeah, like offense, I think that's our strong suit. Now that brings us to, of course, our defense. And let's look at this. Let's look at our positions at defense. All right. Oh boy, it's stressful. I mean, unfortunately, of course, we got DeJean out. They're saying 3 weeks. You hate to see that, but again, like you're gonna have guys. It's gonna be a lot of hammies, hammies and calves getting pulled. We saw Trotter go down today. I don't worry about him. And I'm not worried about Trotter. Like everything, all the reports. It just seems like you pulled the calf, and like I said, if you've been an athlete, you've played anything in your life, and you've ever pulled your calf muscle, it is painful. So yeah, if I pull my calf muscle. And I could get up, but like, yeah, man, put me on that cart and bring me out. You're still going to be walking gingerly, and there's no point risking anything. So Trotter going on the cart today, I feel like that's more precautionary. I feel like that'll be more of a minor injury. I'm not too worried about that. They said it was the back of his leg. Again, that it's his calf, and they said they were, he was getting a massage on the while he was down. They were trying to rub out his calf. Like, again, it's training camp day 2. We got Becton throwing up yesterday. You got guys gassed. And if this was last season, man, this is how I think we should have came in to last season. We should have came in practicing way harder. So it's not a good sign that Trotter went down, but it's like, it does tell you something. It tells you that, they're pushing these guys a little bit more. There's a little bit more. I saw a report today with Mailata. He was talking about how he wanted to kind of take that lead as far as, like, they had a lot of false starts. A lot of false starts. Guys moving early yesterday. Again, your old linemen, they're gonna get gassed. And granted, you don't have Dickerson, you don't have Landon Dickerson yesterday, so there's going to be mistakes. But it's like, yeah, you want these guys to be conditioned. This is the time to do it. Let's go. Especially if we're going to run the type of offense we want to run. These guys got to be ready to go. But yeah, let me not get off track. So let's look at our defense here. All right. Where do I want to start? Let's start D-line. Let's go D-line. Bryce Huff. If anyone saw the report, or not, we saw the pressers today, and Fangio kind of left us with a question mark. He's saying how he hopes that Bryce Huff is going to be like an every down guy. I think that was a question. You want Bryce Huff to be an every down guy if you're paying him that contract. You don't want to, like, I don't know. You want to play around, but like at the same time, it's like you're paying him that money. You want this guy to be, the, I don't know, like your guy. He's coming in. We don't have Reddick. He's like, you want him to be productive. And I get Fangio's scheme is, he's got guys dropping back, and I just don't see the reason to, I don't know, he's got to be ready. Like, I don't know. I want to see him attacking the quarterback. That's one thing that bothers me about this scheme. And I know it's his scheme, and we finally got the guy that created the scheme, knows it in and out. But like, that's one part of the scheme I'm not a big fan of. I don't like pass rushers dropping back. in the coverage. I'm just not a fan of it. I get like, you can disguise a lot of stuff defensively doing that, but I'm not a fan. I personally am not a fan of it. Um, I'm gonna have to give it a try. I'm gonna have to see it through, but I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do as far as like he can't he can't be that limited as far as like our defensive end rotation. Like Sweat, we got Sweat and Huff, and each end we want Nolan Smith, who looks great by the way. It looks like he put on a lot of muscle. It'll be really interesting to see how he comes into the season, but we need our DNs to really take that leap this year, especially our Georgia guys. Including our D tackles. Like we need these guys to take the leap because we lost a big piece in Hassan Reddick, and yeah, like I get it, he probably would have been a problem had we had kept him, but I just don't. I don't think. I don't know. I just don't think we can. Like that's kind of where my question is, like whether or not these guys are going to actually take that massive step. Jalen Carter is I'm probably most confident as far as those young guys taking that massive step forward, but like we really need them. We really need them this year. Ugh. I don't know, man. Like I'm hoping that we can. I don't know. Like we got Milton Williams at 2. Like we got so much depth there, but it's just like we really, really need to get to the quarterback this year. Especially not just that, we got to stop the run. Like I can't watch another year that DBs on the outside. What do we got? It's looking like the rotation was wild today. It was we had Slay on the outside. Slay lined up outside. It's just the question is who's going to be next to Slay. We know it's not going to be Bradbury's. Right now it's kind of looking like it's Isaiah Rodgers, which by the way, great pickup by Howie Roseman. That was like just seeing the bigger picture and like seeing things long term. Like that was an amazing move. But what it like? I just don't feel like I don't know. I don't feel like it's a lock, but like you want Quinyon Mitchell. We want him to be that guy, but let's see. We kind of gotta see it through. And if we're gonna have, I honestly thought Rodgers would kind of be a slot guy, but if they want him on the outside, then hey, I got no problem with it. Especially if he's gonna perform there, like if that's where he's excelling, sure. You don't got a problem there. Anything but Bradbury. I will say that our rotation has been. We had Keely Ringo. He got first team reps today too. He was kind of in that rotation, and I'd like to see him kind of take that leap too. I like to see him take a leap. He showed a lot of promise last year. There was a lot of times last year where it was just like, wow, like he looks legit. Him and Rick's more so Ringo, but like there's promise there. There's a lot of upside, and I'd like to see one of these guys, kind of take that spot. And it kind of like that's kind of where I wonder like what we're gonna do in the slot. Like, who do they expect to play the slot? I mean, DeJean. It's tough because he's not even playing. He's hurt, and you miss a lot of. He's gonna miss a lot opportunity, I'll say, like, to really fit in this defense. And I just I don't know. I'm really hoping that we can figure this out, and we're not gonna know for a while, but like I it's kind of important because last year, as we saw, like especially when it comes to tackling, um I mean, don't get me wrong, getting to safety, you have um we got CJ Gardner Johnson back, thank God, because we missed him desperately, like desperately. I can't um I can't stress this enough, but like we got the DBs, they got to tackle. they got like we can't I can't sit through that. I can't watch that anymore. Honestly, like that it's gonna I want to see these guys tackle. I know CJ Gardner Johnson, I'm not worried about him. Who's going to be that safety alongside him? I don't see why not Reed Blankenship. A lot of people are kind of skeptical. Like, is he really that guy? I think last year, kind of like, like he's going to get exposed here and there. I don't think he's that, like, if he's your best safety, I think you have a problem. But, alongside CJ Gardner Johnson, like, why not, man? I don't mind that at all. He gets his nose around the ball just like CJ does, and I like Reed Blankenship. And why he can't be that guy, I don't know. Everyone wants to get Justin Simmons, and Justin Simmons is gonna want to start, and he's gonna want money, and he's gonna want to play. Like, he's looking for that role, and I don't know if they're gonna do that. I don't know if Howie Roseman is looking at it like that. And yeah, he'd be a great like fit for the scheme, but I mean, you got to be smart. I don't know. You got to be smart with the contracts, and also I just don't think he would accept anything not as a starting role. Um, So safety, I don't know. I kind of like where we're at as far as safety go. I'm not too worried about that position. Alongside CJ Gardner Johnson, I think Reed's the guy, and Sidney Brown, I think, will be a great option one day. But like, tearing your ACL, I know firsthand. Like, you don't just come back. You don't just like come back the next year off an ACL tear and just like expect to be that same explosive, especially a guy like Sidney Brown. Like, dude's downhill, dude's flying like 100% full tilt on every play. Like, and he had some really great plays where it was just like that's that's just his style of play. And after you tear an ACL, it's just like he's not gonna come back with that same type of explosiveness, and you're gonna have to give him a year. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not even thinking about Sidney Brown as far as playing time this season. Yeah, you got to give him a year. Um, and I don't know, man. Like, if we're gonna talk about a corner situation, it's like it's our deepest spot, man. That we couldn't be in a better position as far as corner goes. This is the first draft. Um, Here goes my camera.